Joyeux Noël! If you want to learn more about how I celebrate Christmas, then stick around. Bonjour! It's Hélène with another video. I just, on the spur of the moment, I am filming this video. I just decided for sure during the previous video, if you want to see it, it's right here, that I was going to film this video, and it was really inspired by a video I saw from Angelica Nyqvist. And I think it's Angelica Nyqvist from Sweden, and she was talking about Swedish traditions, and I was shocked a little bit by some of the overlap and delighted with the idea of sharing how she celebrates Christmas, and I thought I would as well. My background is French Canadian. So my dad was from Quebec and my mother from the prairies in Manitoba. And so I have a bit of a mix of two traditions from two French Canadian groups that evolved somewhat separately, but amazingly enough, many of the traditions were the same, despite the fact that there's been quite a difference. Let's just see how Christmas differs from what you would expect in regular settings. We are very big on having people come together. We're not so big on gifts. So spending time with other people and eating a ton of food, those are our two priorities during the Christmas season. So pretty much anything that we want, we take care of for ourselves. There's the usual bringing a dish or a bottle of wine or something to an event, or a traditional food that we are known for, but it's not really about stuff being under the Christmas tree. So to give you an idea, in our home, we have a little lit up Christmas tree. We do get a Christmas tree sometimes, but I put nothing but fake boxes under the Christmas tree because it makes it look more full and inviting, but the boxes are empty. We don't have any gifts in those boxes, just the same boxes and bags with tissue sticking out that I put under the tree every year. So let me back up. We start off Christmas events quite early. When I was growing up, we did about every second year we did Christmas in Montreal, because I have 40 family members in Montreal, some from both sides of the family, but mostly from my dad's side. And it's usually Christmas in the country. And the French Canadian way is to have a pretty big open space, if there is a home that has a pretty big open space, to have a huge table with everybody having supper as much as possible together. Very often in past years it happens in the basement, because basements tend to be, where possible, open if the host has a home. And so it's not unusual to have supper with 40 people. Now, we celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve, not on Christmas Day. And the big meal I'm talking about is usually called le réveillon. And le réveillon means the meal to stay up late for. And réveillon meaning to stay up into the wee hours of the morning. So what normally happens for those of us who go to church is the church service, which traditionally has been at midnight. It's been getting earlier and earlier every year, which makes me a little bit sad. But the midnight mass has a beautiful choir. It's really quite an event, regardless of whether you're a person of faith or not. It's just something to behold and to appreciate. I doubt that someone would not be touched by the singing, because singing, if it's done with a lot of feeling, just brings out emotion. Like it's a powerful event. I will admit I don't go every year. But if I know if it's going to be quite a service that I will be happy to have attended, I will go. And so after the event, now you have a very light meal around 4 or 5. The midnight mass is somewhere between 9 and midnight depending where you live, as a start time. And then after the service, you go back to whoever's hosting the meal, and there's a big spread, and a number of people may have brought the things that they're well known for. For example, my recipe for tourtière, which is a meat pie, is a recipe that my family is well known for, and so we tend to share tourtière with other people. And something called pet de sœur, which is called, if I directly translate, it's called nun's farts. And nun's farts are made with the leftover dough from the tourtière. This tourtière recipe won a prize in our local main paper, the Winnipeg Free Press, years ago, and I think it's still available online to download. So if I do have it, I will link it down below for you, because so that you can see what it's like. So I have come from the idea that big groups of people get together. So I have tonight, Christmas Eve, a big get together at one of my husband's brother's homes, and then the next day it's going to be at his sister's place out in the country, and then we are hosting another meal on the 28th of December, which is a Friday. We usually have the Friday between Christmas and New Year's. My husband is the youngest of the family, so we don't get the main days, where we invite family, and most importantly for us, we invite friends, especially friends who we know are going to likely celebrate Christmas alone. My dad moved alone from Eastern Canada to the prairies. He knew what it was like to be alone for the holidays, and so he has made it a tradition for me that if I know anyone who isn't going to be alone for the holidays, they are automatically invited to the table. That means we sometimes have, we range from 25 to 35 people coming over for dinner. We make it a buffet style with lots of food, with, of course, tourtière that I just talked about. But we don't do turkey, because by the time people come to see me, they've had turkey at least twice, probably 3 times, including leftovers. So what we do is prime rib. So our tradition, it's now going to be the 3rd year in a row, so it's become an expectation that when they come to Hélène's place, that it's going to be prime rib. So that's the Christmas for us. And we do for Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, we do have a turkey with traditional French Canadian stuffing that is a little bit different from the stuffing that you would expect from other groups who do turkeys. Like I said, tourtière is a big thing. Fruitcake, my mother used to make it homemade and work on it for months before the holidays, and that was really cool. I do have the recipe, I haven't made it. And other homemade dainties are a big deal, and we also now on a regular basis have something called vinatarta, which is an Icelandic dessert, because my husband's sister's husband is Icelandic, and so that kind of came into our traditions as well. It's a prune and cookie kind of cake with a glazing on top that is, even if you don't like prunes, trust me, if you have a chance to try vinatarta, it's really neat. The spices make it pretty cool. And my husband has made it from time to time as well over the years. I think in the early to mid 2000s he was making it every year, and he certainly still can. He just leaves it to his sister, because otherwise there's just too much vinatarta all over the place. I'm trying to think of anything else that is key and that might be different. I mean, and no matter whose home you go to, there are at least 25 things to eat. There's just a ton of food. Oh, I forgot something super important. My husband and I also make homemade bread and bread wreaths that we offer up at the end of the evening for anyone who wants to take with. So that's kind of what we're known for, the prime rib and the bread wreaths. And then one more thing, just as I think of the meal, we also do chocolate fountain. So that's relatively new. That's in the last 4 years we've been doing chocolate fountains. So there's an expectation of fresh fruit and chocolate as well when folks come to spend some time with us. We try to have a lot of goodies, but also have options that are a little bit less egregious for people so that they can feel good, especially when they come to our place and it might be the fourth or fifth meal that they've had in a week, so of festivities. So that is our tradition. Like I said, not big on gifts, but big on just giving from the heart by filling bellies and filling people's spirits with good cheer. That's a little bit about us. I would love to hear your traditions or anything special that you feel kind of is different that would be nice for other people to know. I would love to hear it in the comments. It would just warm my heart. I thank you for letting me share this with you today. I thank you for your time. I wish you such a beautiful holiday season for you and yours. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video and into the new year. Take care.